All right, so this is the last of the practice questions. This is maybe one of the more important ones to see me work out if you're a little bit weak in the math. Basically, what I do is I give you a demand function, and you can always do a common sense check here. With a demand curve, we would assume a negative coefficient on price, right? Because there's an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. With supply, there should always be a positive coefficient on price because there is a positive relationship between the two, holding other variables constant. And of course, now we know in this intercept, that's where all the other variables are. This is not a super realistic supply curve because there's no intercept, but I wanted to keep it easy. All right, so what we do here is we just set quantity demanded equal to quantity supplied. So you're going to take 100 minus 3p is equal to 3p. Okay, so when I look at this, I always want to move the negative numbers to the other side first. It's just easier that way. So I'm going to add 3p to this side. I'm going to add 3p to this side. The left-hand side becomes 100. The right-hand side becomes 3p plus 3p, or 6p. Divide both sides by 100. P is equal to 16.67. This is just a standard notation in economics. When we get to an equilibrium, we usually star it. So now we are faced with the challenge of figuring out the quantity. So what we're going to do is just put this price in. We know that's the price at equilibrium. We can actually put it into either one of these equations. This one seems easier to me, right? So I'm actually just going to put it in here. QS is equal to 3 times 16.67. QS is equal to 50, but it's not just QS, right? We know that QD equals QS at the equilibrium, so the quantity is going to be 50. Let me just double check my notes. Yes, it is. So in this case, the equilibrium price is going to be 16.67, and the equilibrium quantity is going to be 50. One thing I do ask you to do on the homework is to put in price floors or price ceilings. So in this case, we know the market clearing price is 16. If you were to say put in a price of 10, what would happen is you would have that would be a price, if it's a price ceiling of 10. If you put, let's see, if you put 10 into here, the quantity supplied would be 30, and the quantity demanded would be 70, if I'm doing this right in my head. So there would be a shortage in that case, just like there is with the rent control. You could also put in a price higher than this, call it a price floor, and see a surplus. So that's something I'm asking you to do as well. I appreciate all the patience you've given with this week. It's super painful to start with supply and demand. When you're teaching people that are super familiar with it, I'm actually teaching a class with only Fulbright students who are really smart. And I have to teach them supply and demand this week. But it's important to realize this is such a foundational model in the world of neoclassical microeconomics, which this whole class is, that it's just worth taking the time to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, thank you.